Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today I'm going to be doing stages 63 to 68 of the Fanhome release and build E.T. the Extraterrestrial. So we've got 6 stages here, and as you see in the last pack we've pretty much done that part of the internal frame, and we have put motors. These are arm motors, I put them a leg. These are arm motors each side there. That's what we did in the last pack. Now I haven't actually looked at the magazine, so I've got no idea what we're doing today. We're going to find that out together. Now I don't know if this is available. You will have to check that. I've got a link in the video description, and there's also that QR code on the screen. I'm going to jump straight into it though. Without further ado, let's get cracking. Okay, so this is stage 63. Now I have looked at stage 64, just so you know, because when I just opened this and saw what we're doing, we don't really have a lot to do. We're going to do the shoulder mounting brackets on each side here. The thing is, the reason why I'm separating them is because in the next stage, we actually get the control board, which is something completely different here. So I want to make sure that that's separate from what we're building at the moment. So here we go. I've got stage 63 here. Let's get this open. And we do have these plates here, but we don't actually use these in this stage. So I can put them to one side, bring over this section here that we worked on last time, and we're actually going to be putting these brackets into the points just here. Now you can probably see this on a top camera or a side camera. They're actually going to go in this way, so they're going to fit on like that. Now I'm just seeing if there's a left and right one. It doesn't look like there is, so you can actually just use any of these. Now they're held in with 3 screws. These are the black ones that come in this build. And these big black screws are quite difficult to get in if you don't use a PH1 screwdriver. So that's what I've got here. Just looking at how I've been putting these in, it's probably best to put the back middle one in first before you do these ones at the front, because that's going to dictate where this actually sits. So this is the last one going in on this side. Oh god, that's hard work. Turn it over, and I'm just going to do the same thing on this one here. And there you go. With those in, that's all there is to do in that stage. We do have these screws left over, which I'm just going to be saving for the next stages. So that means in stage 64, as I just mentioned in the last stage, we do have the control board here with some screws. We're going to be mounting this to a plate that we had previously. So mounting the plate in here, and we are putting this at the bottom of the internal frame there. And this is the rest of the magazine. Okay. Carefully opening stage 64. As you can see, the board is protected in some bubble wrap here. And this is what that board's looking like here. Plenty of ribbon cables and plugs. That's what it looks like from that side. Okay, on the bottom of E.T. here, we've got this plate here that we need to take off. Now, to get it off, I need to actually put my screwdriver down here to undo the screws each side. So I'm going to do that now. Turn it over and do the 2 on this side as well. I'm guessing, so we didn't lose that piece, is why they asked us to actually put this in place. So once these are out, this should come out there almost just like this. So this is what we need. Don't quite know what this is at the moment. I'm glad I showed you that, because I don't know where that goes yet. Okay, so on this part of the top here, I'm going to be putting in the circuit board. Now, it's just going to go over the stays there, just like that. And I've got these smaller screws here to put that into place. Now, these are 4. We've got to put 4 of these in. 2, done the opposite corners, and then I'll do these 2 here. So I need to differentiate the side. Now the side that's got the ribbon cable here, that's going to go towards the back. This one's going to go towards the front. Now the front of this is the one which has got this detail of the heart here. So when I put this in, or back in, it's going to go into the position just here. Now, again, if you have a look at this, I'm putting it in such a way, show you on the top camera, that again, this is the front, so that these 3 plugs in the center are on the top, and then we've got these down the bottom here. And then it's just a case of screwing this back in. You know what? Because the recess is so deep into here, it is easy to get to, but it's hard to actually see where the hole is because it's so dark in there. But there we go. They're all in place. That's the circuit board in. That's all there is to do in that stage. So, stage 65. Here's the magazine. And we're going to be doing the main circuit board connections. Loads of wires in here. So, wow, we've got a battery test board here. So we need to make sure that the motors are aligned exactly where they need to be by the look of it. And then we're going to be putting a limiter switch by the look of it onto each side like this. This is going to be a bit involved, this is. Plugging these electrics in. So by the end, that's how it's looking. And there's the rest of the magazine. Okay. So here we go. Here's the stages for... So here's the parts for stage 65. Lots and lots and lots of cables, as you can see. Right, it's the limit switches I want first by the look of it. And what we want to do is we want to put these motor switches in a vertical position. So we need them to be pointing straight up. So to do that, we've got the tester board here. Doesn't matter which way we plug this in, to be honest with you. But I'm going to plug this in, turn it on, and let that move into the position of being straight up. Perfect. And then I'll do the same on the other side here. So again, turn it on and wait patiently for that to reach the 12 o'clock position. Excellent. So we have 2 switches which are exactly the same size. These are actually wrapped up together. We've got one which is slightly longer here. We don't use that one. Now when we mount these switches, we're going to be mounting them on here. We want the open end of the switch, as you can see on the top camera, to be towards this angled section just here. And I'm holding them in with the screws that come in this stage. They're quite long. They look like this. So get this in. And you see, because of the shape of this cam here, what's going to happen is, as this bigger side comes down, it's going to close that switch there. Okay, do the same on the other side. And exactly the same way here, these are going to go in just like this. And then we're going to be putting a limit switch in for the neck motor. Now on the neck motor, we've got a hole here. Now what I want you to do is, once again, connect up the leads here. And I'm letting it rotate until I can see the hole just in here. So wait patiently. Just there. Perfect. Haha, that's good. So I don't know if I can show you this. Can you see it there? Look, you can perfectly see that hole in the center. Right. What we're going to do is this longer switch here is actually going to go on this side, just underneath this center section just here. So if I put it in there like this, that is perfect in position there. Now this one's just held in with one screw, because one of the other screws is just for a locating lug. So I'll get that in here and screw that down. I do want to ensure that the switch, well, this limiter switch here, is engaged underneath that section there. So as this turns, it's going to close this like that, as you can see. Perfect. Now this left switch that we're putting at the start, so again, this is the front, so this is the left here, that's going to go into the very outside edge just here. So put that one in, and looking at the top camera, You can see how this is laid out. Left hand one into there, which means the right hand one is going to do exactly the same thing, just into this side here. Now, the left hand motor cable, which is this one here, is going to go underneath this onto that plug just there. And then mirroring that just onto the right hand side, that one's going to go in there. So we've got limiter, motor from the left side, limiter, motor on the right side. Okay, let's turn this over. And I want the neck motor cable, which we just plugged something into to make the neck move, which I've got just here. I've managed to actually, in the instructions, they've got it coming from the motor through these parts here. I don't know how I've managed to do it so that it's not even showing, but there you go. I've done it that way. This is going to be going on the side with the ribbon cable in here, in the top hole, just on this side here. Perfect. And then this switch that we've got, now I can pass it through where they wanted me to pass it. 1 and 2. That's going to go on the complete opposite side, just over here. So the only cable we haven't connected at the moment is the one that's coming from the light in the heart. But all the other cables that we've got here, from the motors and the switches to the neck motor and the switch, are all now plugged into that circuit board. That's all there is to do in this stage. We do have all of these wires here left over. So, a lot more to do in this one, isn't there? This is stage 66. And we've got a main circuit board connections and left rib support. So we've got these parts here going in, putting this in here, and it looks like we are connecting now another wire up. And it looks like we're connecting all the wires up. Look at this, looking just like that. Okay, this is the rest of the magazine. So here is stage 66. And I'm going to be wanting to attach this to this side here, the left side. I know that because there is a L stamped on this. And it's basically going to be going on top of these two holes here. So this is going to be sitting in just like that there. Now that's held in with the two screws that actually come in this pack. So that's nice and firmly fixed in there. And then remember this chest LED cable, which we couldn't find a home for last time. This is actually now going to be plugging into this port just here. So again, on the top camera, probably easiest to see how I'm laying this out. It's going into that one just there. Now we have got this massive ribbon cable which came in the last stage. I'm going to turn this over, plug this into the ports just here, and then I'm going to want to feed this all the way up the body here. So I'm going to try and do this neatly, just like I'm knitting, sewing. There you go. They're all in place, going up the body just like that. And that is all there is to do in that stage. In stage 67, here's the magazine. We've got this one that's going on the other side now, and then it looks like we're going to be plugging the last of the leads in that we had from that previous stage as well. Putting these into place like that. So this is how that's looking. Here's the rest of the magazine. So we know how this one goes in on account that we did it on this side. So again, we're going to be working on this side this time. And it's going to go this way in, held in with those two screws. Put that to one side because we've got 3 cables left now in this bag. So what we want to do is we've got, from the previous stage, we had 3 cables all bundled together like this. Now I need to put an A or a B. I need to write on here. Have I got a permanent marker? I think I have. 1 second. So on the plug end, I'm going to just put a little, I think I'll just do dashes actually. A 1, and this one's going to have a 2. So I know the difference between these cables now. Now, under the base here, which we've got here, if you look under here, we've got these cables just here. Now, the one that I put a 1 on, or 1 slice, I'm going to be putting into A. I'm very conscious that I didn't label these ones up. So let's look at these 3 wires here. We've got one which is going to the switch, one which is going to go to the battery, and one which is going to go to the power supply, which is going into here. Now, I didn't label these up, so this is going to be a bit fun. Okay, so because I haven't labelled these, this is going to make a bit of a pain. You know what would be a great help? If you did label yours up, which I didn't, could you let me know which lead you've labelled up for the battery pack, which lead you've labelled up for the charger, and which lead you've labelled up for the switch here? That way I can have an idea of what I'm actually doing. Now, the switch, I'm guessing, is S. So I'm going to take the wire from the switch here, which is this one, and I'm going to plug this white lead in here. Now, the cable that's coming from the battery, I'm guessing, is B. So I'm going to take my cable, I'll put 2 swipes on it. Just trying to figure out which cable that one is. Stand by. That's this one. So I've made the charging port A. Now, that might be wrong. If anyone can rectify that in the instructions, let me know. It's quite simple. I can just switch that round. But it's not giving anything away, I'm afraid. What I do need to do, though, is then pass these cables through the hole here. There you go. All of those cables are coming out there. So I can still identify these cables. The white one is the switch. This one that I put 2 on is for the battery. And the one that's got 1 on, I've put for the charging socket at the moment. But I don't know if that's the right way. I'm hoping someone can help me. But look at the instructions. These wires coming out the base go out the back like this. I'm guessing that one does as well. So when I put this on the front, I'm thinking that's how that's going to look. Just like that. We don't actually connect these wires up at the moment, though, so I'm just going to leave them there. What we are going to do is, do you remember these plates that we had right at the beginning of this? They're going to go over the points just here on the base. Now, this is why we had screws left over from that stage. So I'll get these screwed in, and there's 2 each side. Now, what this is going to do, it's going to stop ET now coming away from that base, because this is hooking over the side, so as you can see, you can now lift up. So do the same on the other side here. And with that in place, that is all there is to do in that stage. There's certainly a lot to do in this stage, isn't there? Okay, so stage 68. No idea what we're doing. Let's have a look at the instructions. We're going to be doing the left shoulder support. So we're going to start the shoulder supports now. That bit that we had earlier, which I didn't know what it was for, there we go. We're going to be using it. Putting that into place just like this and creating the shoulder support. So that's how that's looking. Let's do this. So just open stage 68. Okay, I'm going to have to film this on this camera, so have a look at this. Now you see we've got a thin side and a thick side, so it's the thin side we want towards the back, and it needs to go around this way. So I'm going to be putting this over this neck section just here, and it should fit nice and flush in there like that. Now you should have some long black screws left over in your box of storage. That's what's going to attach this to this top section here. I mean, this is certainly going together nice and easy enough. Don't know about those leads in the base, though. If you could answer that question, that'd be lovely, because I haven't got a clue. I know it's going to come back to bite me. I can still get to those wires in the base, though, to swap them round, so that's going to be good. Okay, just put that to one side. And I'm just going to be making this shoulder joint now. So that's just going to be going in here just like this. It's going to sit over the top of that section, and I need 2 of these screws. Actually, I need 4 of these screws to hold this into place. And then once that's done, all the screws are in there, we're going to be mounting this So I might be able to show you this on the top camera actually. It's going to go on this side. So if this is the front here, to show you that's the front, it's going to go on the left side. And I'm just putting this in over the top there. So we need 2 screws just in the top and then 2 screws underneath. Just into these points just here. And there you go. And with that in, that's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. So, gone together quite easily. I do need help to find out what cables go where at the bottom. What's the charger cable? What's the battery cable? What's the switch cable? If you can help me with that, that'd be really appreciated. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.